Welcome everyone to the Heraldry Hangout for June 18th, 2014. Our usual ringleader is not here at the moment. He's having technical difficulties, namely a lack of power. So, other than that, we have most of the usual suspects. I guess we may as well go ahead and hop into what we can handle without Adyun being here. First up, I got a note from Redfish. Whoa! What?
I don't know.
You okay?
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Adyun's cat, no!
It opened up in another window and was talking back to me. That was very disorienting. Okay. So, first, I got a note from Redfish about the trees. His comp blew up, so he got delayed a couple of weeks in getting those fixed. He's working on them now. So hopefully within the next week or so, we should start seeing some of those come in.
You're talking charges?
Yes, the tree
Oh,
charges.
Okay. Gotcha.
We've
Yeah,
been holding
Redfish.
off on passing trees because his were so amazingly wonderful, but then they kept not coming. So, Ronan, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Redfish had designed about 50 trees that were just absolutely perfect, and they're on the Pro Boards forum if you look for them.
Oh, cool.
And
Thanks.
when he lost the computer, the only thing he had was very small thumbnails of them. I'm talking like 28 by 28, and he couldn't enlarge them, so he's taking the time to redo them, and they're absolutely wonderful.
Yep.
Nice.
Really, really, they're probably the best heraldic trees I've seen, and it's a full set. Like I said, of like 50 of them. And now that we aren't going to be as limited as we thought we would be with charges, we can include them all. So that'll be nice. Okay, this came up at one point on the Trello about how the outline style charges we have listed as technically okay. I just wanted to explain why I keep pushing to make them all into the silhouette charge. And that is because the silhouettes can be turned into the outline style charges, but it's really by just doing a thin outline in the generator, but the reverse is not true.
Can you explain that?
I'm looking for the specific charge that it came up on.
Because I was trying to set up an example, and when I did that, the reverse is true by putting it in different layers.
Would be a good example under the waiting for conversion.
I'm trying to use the double anchors that we used for Kingsport.
Right.
Yeah.
I can demo that real quick if you like.
Sure.
Okay, let me open that. Hang on. I'm going to share screen. That was somebody calling.
It sounded like the intro to a circus.
Okay. So these are kind of like the old style, the classic heraldry style.
Right.
And I broke these up into different layers so we can turn them into, just by hiding the lines, we can turn them into outline style.
Right.
And then just by hiding the fimbriation, wait, no. I just have them outlined here for, hang on a second, ropes and anchors, turn off the borders, there we go. Fimbriation, turn off border, there. So now that's a normal outline style. So you can always switch back and forth easily between the classic heraldry or just the outline heraldry. And you can still do the fimbriation without
Right, but they still have to have the center part without the outline.
Which part is that? Which part are you referring to?
The fill.
The fill.
Well, don't all of them do?
No, like some of them, like
That's what I'm gonna.
Oh, I see what you're saying with the outline style. Though, like the book was a good example of that had no fill.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Here, what? I can show you the specific one that we were talking about when it came up. And that was this one. It won't let me zoom in.
Where the fill is just the outline itself.
Right.
Exactly. And yes, yeah, you're completely right. Those do have to be converted to.
Right.
But they don't have to lose their detail.
Right. This has just as much detail, but with the solid part being the fill, you can once it's in the generator, this can easily be made to look like the other one with the fimbriation.
Right. So the easiest way, the easiest way to do that would be to keep the outline fill and just add a fimbriation layer underneath it. That way you don't have to redo the whole thing, and you can still keep the detail of the outline nuances. Like this one I created, for example, when this one was built, the lines were the fill, not the yellow. So
right.
you didn't see, oops. It looked like, sorry, there's no good example right now. It was just the lines were filled in, just like with that staff, but I made those lines into their own layer, and now added basically a fimbriation layer underneath it. Oops, sorry. That made the anchors.
Right.
And so if people want to keep the same look, I think the anxiety is of losing that traditional look.
Right.
When doing that. Yeah.
Oh, we can have that, but it has to be converted to the right style first.
Right.
And then can go back in the generator if that's the style they want.
Right.
So that's all I was trying to explain to the people that don't understand why I keep pushing for convert to silhouette style first.
So maybe we should just make and maybe shoot, I'm blanking on names right now. But maybe Bajan can help with that to set up some instructions to how to easily convert those.
Yeah. Although poor Bajan, he has so much on his plate.
Get rid of the backlog in that one section on Trello.
While I'm here screen sharing, why don't I just share with you what he's been doing?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm behind on converting a lot of those to silhouette. Just crazy busy, like normal.
Everyone is crazy busy and having awful times lately, so we all understand.
So these are almost ready, but now he has added a whole library here to this.
Oh my goodness.
Starting with, here with the cat. So he's focusing right now on getting all the player-made custom ones on there that we already have assigned to devices so that we can recreate those really quickly.
Right.
But yeah, the list is, he put about 50 on there just yesterday.
Awesome.
So that'll be cool. But yeah, there's still some tweaks needed and fixes, and once those are in, we'll roll those out.
Oh, one thing that he and I were talking about yesterday or the day before, when you and I had talked about the save device and how you can only do it on the account there and not straight to your computer.
Right.
He mentioned that part of the concern there was so that we could make sure it was actually done in the generator and thus recreatable in the generator.
That's a good point. But I mean, we could see that fairly easily, I would think.
Well, I would say the all you have to do at that point is to say that part of the registration process is linking to the gallery page on there. But being able to save the image is still an important factor, I think.
Right, and so let me log in real quick.
Well,
Actually,
another possibility we could have to kind of secure
I
the
said you may not
flexibility.
want to sign on while you're on screen
oh, yeah,
share.
it doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh, okay, you got it saved.
So one thing we do want to do, and why this is important, is so we have the person's email that registers, and we can submit it along with the device,
Right.
with their saved device. But what I do want to add is here, I have mine. I want to add a button here to where they can download their device once it's completed.
Okay.
I mean, right now you can click on it and you can right-click and save image, but I'll just add a button to make it a lot easier.
Right. I just really would like a way to download without having to save it to your personal gallery account.
What would that serve? What purpose?
For those of us, well, for instance, when I was helping to make that Google Plus community device, I went through seriously 23 variations.
Right.
I don't want 23 variations of that on my account in Blazon Forge.
But you can easily delete the ones after you've used them, right?
Yes, and well, my thought on that is what I want to expand the functionality to is so that as an admin, you can log on and create Blazons for other people and assign them to their account.
That might work.
So that
I
when
think
you
that
make
would work.
when we make a device for somebody on the forums, we tell them, hey, register first, put in your username, and then we'll make it for you, and you can review it. And the one you like, you just put in the gallery.
Right.
That would work good because then you'd put all the ones that you've created, like, you know, how I go through 15 different colors, put that in their profile, and they could pick the one they want and then delete the rest. And it's not on your profile.
Right,
That's,
exactly.
That would work. That could
Yeah,
work.
that's what I'm shooting toward, but I'm yeah.
And this
Alright.
way we have email addresses that are tied to accounts, and that
Right.
would go with Portalarium with emails and how they're tied for accounts.
Right.
Hey, that could work.
Cool. Okay. Continue on. Sorry to hijack.
Oh no, you're fine. Just as a reminder to all of the people in the college, it's supposed to be one college member handling a device from beginning to end, the creation. Offering artistic suggestions is fine, you know, saying, well, I like this, I like that one, or whatever. Or if the person asks for help. But we've had a problem lately, again, with people essentially sniping what someone else has been working on. Corollary of this, when you go to help someone, say, hi, I'll help guide you through the process from beginning to end, so that way everyone else knows that you're working with this one person. It just helps prevent bruised feelings and confusion, and things get lost and so forth. It just makes everything neater. Let's see. I talked to Adun earlier about one of these weird devices that we got, that there was some debate on whether it was valid or not. This one. He said that's actually completely heraldically valid. And it is recreatable in the generator currently. It's a pain in the butt to regenerate, but it is doable.
Right. I think the one we did have a question about was where the argent was fimbriated ore and not blue.
I
Yeah,
did
we
were-
not
had
see
three
that
different.
one.
Yeah, there were 3 different examples that we had up and through that thread, and there was one that was
This
or
one?
that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's not valid.
Right.
But his
And
original design is.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Except for the different blue on the side there.
Well, yeah.
Paint
With
bucket.
the right color blue, that's the design is valid. The
Yes.
particular artwork is not. So yeah.
We were all in a hurry.
Well, yeah, it's a nice look too. It's very clean and simple, which is good.
Yeah, Adian said he unintentionally happened upon a very advanced heraldic concept, but yes, it is a perfectly valid device. So,
Do you have a name for that concept?
yes, somewhere.
That'd be interesting to know.
We gotta go all the way back behind him talking about his power being out.
There's actually 2 different ways to describe that. Rufus used one description, and in Corin's generator there is another description.
Right. This is what Adian said. He said, it works. That said, it works because by accident, the original submitter hit on a very advanced heraldic concept. Here's the blazon. Per chevron, pally of 5, azure and ore, and azure, a pale argent, upon which in chief a roundel sanguine, and in base a balanced sable. Basically, he turned the field into a pally of 5 arrangement, split with a per chevron division. Then he perfectly placed the argent pale within the central blue pale. The secondary charges then sat on the argent pale perfectly.
Okay, that's 3 different ways to make that.
Yeah. I think Ronan and I had one way where we said those were 3 ordinaries, and then Corin's generator said it was the pallies, just like Adian said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Don't we all love blazonry?
Yeah.
it would actually end up a pally of 7, not of 5, because otherwise the central one would be too wide. But regardless, it is perfectly valid, however you make it.
Yes. I guess if he calls it pally or not depends on how wide they are. If they fit if they fill half of the division exactly. Otherwise, if they're thinner, they wouldn't be a pally anymore.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't have the up and down pattern. They would just only occur once instead of repeated. Right?
Okay.
Ronan, is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm really bad at visualizing these things from words. But, I wanted to get some clarification on some of the color matters, but that really needs Adian present. And we had some internal cleanup matters to handle, but again, it really needs Adian. So, when do you think your Blazon Forge gallery will be usable on the large scale?
I know it loads really slow right now, and I know what I need to fix for that. The big holdup right now is getting patterns to work. They work on no division, and they work in charges, but you can't rotate them in charges, and you can't rotate them in divisions.
I'm thinking in the meantime, we need to find some kind of easy gallery software for a temporary gallery. Since the wiki no longer works. Thoughts?
If I say 2 weeks, would you still do that?
Probably not.
Well, let's
But then
do it
again,
like this. Go ahead.
I say even when it's working, there are a lot of devices that it won't be able to do yet. Mine, for instance.
Right, right, right. Let me think on that. Maybe I'll
Okay.
make a way to upload them.
Okay.
Grant, could we, as a sort of workaround in the meanwhile, have that heater-shaped template and be able to produce those manually on a case-by-case basis?
Technically, yes, I have to implement it. It will.
Meltdown.
No, I'm just thinking of what's all required to do that. I'll put that in place when I put in the upload functionality.
If we can, even like just for admins on the site to be able
Right.
to upload
Yeah, so
temporarily.
that's what I'm thinking. I have to put in admin functionality, but that's not too hard. I'll
Okay.
work on that this weekend.
Alrighty. And I think that's all we can handle without Adun present. So, does anyone else have anything to bring up? Anyone? Bueller?
I'm trying to
Okay.
think, but nothing happens.
Don't hurt yourself. Alright, with that, I guess I will call it an evening. So, bye.